May 2019, Windsor Castle's private library. Prince Harry stands frozen, a red mark blooming on his left cheek. Queen Elizabeth II, 93 years old, hand still raised, breathing hard. 14 senior royals watch in absolute silence. The small leather diary with gold-embossed initials lies open on the mahogany table between them. Its pages show handwritten notes in Harry's distinctive script. Prince Philip mutters something no one catches. William's face has gone pale. Charles reaches for the diary. The Queen slaps his hand away too. "You will not publish this," she says, her voice shaking. Harry's security detail outside hears raised voices but doesn't enter. The meeting was supposed to be about Meghan's future role. Instead, it became a confrontation over what Harry had been secretly writing for 18 months. The diary contained observations about every private royal conversation since his wedding. One question hung in the air. What was in those pages that made the Queen break 67 years of composed control? The answer would fracture the monarchy's carefully constructed public image forever. The world knew Prince Harry as the beloved spare, the ginger prince who served 2 tours in Afghanistan, the one who founded the Invictus Games for wounded veterans, the one who walked behind his mother's coffin at age 12 while the world watched. By 2016, after years of careful image rehabilitation following the Vegas photos and the Nazi costume incident, Harry had become the monarchy's secret weapon. Relatable, honest about mental health, funny in interviews. But inside Kensington Palace, a different story played out. The spare wasn't just a nickname, it was a role with invisible boundaries. William would be king. Harry would support him. That was the deal made before either of them could walk. Every major life decision required palace approval. Every relationship vetted by courtiers, every public statement approved by communications staff. Harry had lived with it for 31 years. Then he met someone who hadn't. July 2016. A mutual friend arranged a blind date at Soho House in London. Meghan Markle, American actress, humanitarian worker, divorced, biracial, feminist. Everything Princess Diana had been, plus everything she hadn't. Meghan had her own career, her own money, her own voice. She'd never heard of the invisible contract that governed royal life. Harry fell hard and fast. By November, the relationship was public. So was the racist abuse in tabloid comment sections. Harry issued an unprecedented statement defending her, breaking decades of royal protocol. Palace advisors were furious. "You've shown your hand," one told him. Charles called, concerned. William asked, "Are you sure about this?" That phrase, "Are you sure?" would echo through the next 3 years. Palace machinery activated immediately. Background checks, media training. Consultants explaining how things work here. Meghan attended Christmas at Sandringham in 2016, breaking the rule that unmarried partners weren't invited. The press called it romantic. Senior royals called it moving too fast. Harry noticed something. What family said publicly about Meghan never quite matched what they said behind closed doors. May 19, 2018. St. George's Chapel, Windsor Castle. 1,900 guests, a gospel choir singing "Stand By Me." Meghan's mother sitting alone on one side. Her father hadn't come after a staged photo scandal. Charles walked Meghan down the aisle in his place. The press called it a beautiful gesture. Behind the scenes, 3 days of tense negotiations about who, how, and what the optics would be. During the private reception that evening, Harry excused himself 3 times. Each time, he went to a side room where his jacket hung. He pulled out a small leather diary and wrote, "First entry, a direct quote from a family member during the rehearsal dinner about how long we give this. Second entry, another relative's comment about whether their children would have the right complexion. Third entry, his own observation about the careful distance certain royals maintained from Meghan's mother. The diary had gold-embossed initials on its cover, HRH, Harry, Duke of Sussex. That night he filled 14 pages. It wouldn't be the last time. The fractures widened slowly at first. By late 2018, stories began leaking. Meghan made Kate cry during bridesmaid fittings. Harry knew the real story. He'd been there. Kate had been upset, yes, but the tears went the other way. He documented it, the date, the conversation, who apologized to whom. It didn't matter. The tabloid version became truth. Then came Archie's birth in May 2019. Private conversations happened behind closed doors. Concerns about what title the baby would have. Questions about security protocols. And that other conversation, the one Harry wrote down word for word, about concerns regarding how dark Archie's skin might be. These weren't hypotheticals. These were discussions between senior royals before his son was born. Harry wrote it all, names, exact quotes, witnesses. He matched the dates of private family meetings with dates of tabloid stories that followed. Patterns emerged, palace sources briefing against Meghan, protecting Kate. William confronted him one evening. "This is about protecting the institution, Harold." That conversation went into the diary too, every word of it. Harry developed a system. He wrote immediately after events, while his memory was sharp. He used direct quotes whenever possible. He noted who else was present. The diary became a detailed record of every royal engagement, every family gathering, every meeting about the Sussex situation. In public, Harry and Meghan performed their roles flawlessly, toured Australia and the South Pacific. Meghan gave powerful speeches about women's rights. They visited schools, hospitals, veteran centres. Behind the palace walls, something else was happening. Meghan grew increasingly isolated. The press attacks intensified. Tabloids printed stories from palace sources about her difficult behaviour. Each time Harry asked the family to issue a statement defending her, he got the same answer. "We can't be seen to play favourites." He documented every refusal. His protection officer, a former Special Forces soldier who'd served with Harry in Afghanistan, noticed the diary during a trip to Scotland. Saw Harry writing in the car between events. Said nothing. But someone else noticed too. William's private secretary spotted it during a meeting at Kensington Palace. Harry had left it on a side table while taking a phone call. The secretary didn't touch it, but he mentioned it to William later. "Your brother is keeping some kind of journal." William asked Harry about it directly the next week. "Just processing things," Harry said. "Therapy has helped me understand the importance of writing things out." William accepted this. Harry had been public about seeing a therapist, but palace lawyers quietly began researching a question. If Harry was writing about royal family matters, could they compel him to surrender it? Were his notes technically Crown property? January 2019. A small item appeared in a gossip column. Sources say Prince Harry has been keeping a journal about royal life. It vanished from news cycles within hours, but inside palace walls, machinery activated. Charles's office wanted to know what was in it. Could it damage the monarchy? Was Harry planning to publish? William confronted Harry a second time. This time Harry felt the stakes rise. "It's personal," he said, "just trying to make sense of everything that's happened since the wedding." William studied his brother's face. "We're worried about you, Harold. About both of you." The concern felt genuine. It also felt like a warning. Harry moved the diary from Kensington to Windsor, where he and Meghan had moved into Frogmore Cottage. He started keeping it on his person, jacket pocket during the day, locked drawer at night. A lawyer friend who wasn't connected to the royal household quietly confirmed what Harry suspected. His private writings were his own property. The Crown had no legal claim to them. This knowledge changed something in Harry. The diary had started as processing, a way to organize his thoughts about the strange new world Meghan had entered. Now it was something else, evidence. Proof he wasn't imagining the gap between public support and private distance. Meanwhile, the Fab Four, Harry, Meghan, William and Kate, officially split their joint charitable foundation. The press wrote about tensions and different working styles. Harry's diary entries from the meetings that led to the split told a different story. Explosive arguments about control, about whose vision would guide royal charity work, about whether Meghan would be allowed to pursue her own projects or required to follow established patterns. Spring of 2019 brought a new level of pressure. Palace advisors proposed a trial separation. Harry and Meghan would step back from some duties, take time away from the public eye, regroup. Harry documented the meeting where this was proposed, including which words were used and who supported the idea. The diary had become his anchor. When he felt gaslit, told he was imagining slights or misremembering conversations, he could check his notes. The dates matched. The quotes were there. The patterns were real. But the diary was also changing him. He'd started lying to Meghan about it. She'd found it once, asked what it was. Just thoughts, he'd said. She hadn't pushed, but he saw the question in her eyes. He was keeping a secret from his wife about his family. The irony wasn't lost on him. In April, he made his first mistake. He left the diary in his study at Windsor while he and Meghan attended an event in London. Palace staff cleaning the room found it. The staff member, following protocol, didn't open it, but reported its presence to a senior aide. Charles's private secretary requested it be delivered to Clarence House. When Harry returned to Windsor that evening, he found the diary moved from his desk drawer to the center of the desktop. He knew immediately someone had touched it. He confronted the staff. Who moved it? Why? The staff admitted the secretary had requested it, but swore it hadn't been opened. Harry didn't believe them. He read through the diary that night, page by page. Everything was there. Direct quotes about Archie, about Meghan, about modernizing the monarchy versus protecting tradition. If they'd read it, they knew he'd been documenting everything. 2 days later, the Queen requested a family meeting, all senior royals. Buckingham Palace sent the request through formal channels. Date, time, location. May 15, 2019, Windsor Castle Private Library, 3:00 p.m. Attendance mandatory. Harry knew what it meant. They'd read the diary, or someone had told them what was in it. He spent 2 days deciding whether to bring it. In the end, he put it in his jacket pocket. When he and Meghan arrived at Windsor, a palace aide met them at the door. "Family only, Your Royal Highness. The Duchess will wait in the drawing room." Meghan squeezed his hand. She knew something was wrong, but didn't know what. Inside the library, Queen Elizabeth in her usual chair by the window, Charles and Camilla on the sofa, William and Kate standing near the fireplace, Anne, Edward, Sophie near the bookshelves, Andrew by the door. The air smelled of old books and furniture polish. Sun streamed through tall windows. Everything looked normal except the expressions. The Queen spoke first. "Harold, we need to discuss your future within this family." Her voice was steady, but Harry heard something underneath. Concern, maybe fear. He felt the diary's weight in his pocket. This was the moment. He could deflect, apologize, promise to be more cooperative. Or he could do the thing he'd been both dreading and anticipating for months. "I'd like to show you something," he said. He pulled out the leather diary and placed it on the mahogany table in the center of the room. "This is everything, every conversation since the wedding, every concern, every coded warning, every private comment that contradicts what we say publicly. It's all here." The silence that followed felt like a physical presence. Charles stood and reached for the diary. The Queen's hand shot out faster than anyone expected from a 93-year-old woman. Her palm hit Charles's wrist. "Don't," she said. She looked at Harry. "Why?" "Just that one word. Why would you do this to your family? Or why would you need to document us? Or why are you showing us now?" Harry chose to answer the question she didn't ask, "Because I needed to know I wasn't crazy. That I wasn't imagining the difference between what you say to my face and what you say when you think I can't hear." He opened the diary to a marked page. May 12, 2019. Family dinner at Windsor. Quote, "We can't be expected to defend every accusation in the press. The institution is bigger than one person." End quote. He looked at Charles. "You said that to me when I asked why the palace wouldn't issue a statement correcting the story about Meghan making Kate cry." He flipped pages. March 7, 2019. Meeting about Archie's title. Quote, "We need to think about how this looks. Tradition matters. The rules exist for a reason." End quote. He looked at the Queen. "That's when you told me Archie wouldn't receive the title His Royal Highness, not because of protocol, but because of how it looks." William stepped forward. "You're betraying us, Harold. Recording private conversations. Our family." Harry met his brother's eyes. "I'm recording the truth. There's a difference." Charles's voice rose. "This is family, not a deposition. We don't document each other like evidence in a trial." "Then why?" Harry asked quietly. "Does every private concern you express about Meghan end up as an unnamed palace source story in the Daily Mail within 48 hours? The next 10 minutes felt like hours. Harry read from the diary, specific dates, specific quotes. The comment about Archie's skin color, made before Archie was born, during a conversation about public reception and how the Commonwealth might react to a mixed-race royal baby. Harry didn't say who made it, just that it happened, that multiple people were present, that no one objected. He read from the entry about being told palace communications couldn't defend Meghan publicly because we need to maintain relationships with the press. About the meeting where someone suggested Meghan's American background made her fundamentally unable to understand royal duty. About the discussion of whether Archie would receive security protection. Anne broke the silence. "What do you intend to do with this?" Her voice was careful, measured. "I don't know," Harry admitted. "I honestly don't know. I just needed someone to know that I'm not making this up. That the gap between what we project and what actually happens is real." Kate spoke for the first time. "So you want an apology? You want us to admit we haven't been perfect?" "I want," Harry said, voice rising, acknowledgement. "I want someone in this family to say out loud that maybe, possibly, Meghan was treated differently because of who she is. Not just what she is. American, actress, divorced, but who? A woman who doesn't need us. Who had her own identity before she became a duchess. And that scared some of you." William took a step toward Harry. "You don't get to judge us. You don't get to reduce everything we've done to racism and control." "I'm not reducing anything," Harry shot back. "I'm finally naming it. The argument intensified. Charles stood, his face red. You're accusing your family of prejudice, of deliberately undermining your wife. Do you understand what you're saying? I understand, Harry replied, that you've protected the institution over your own family, that when it came down to supporting Meghan or preserving relationships with tabloids that pay for access, you chose the tabloids. Charles's voice went cold. You don't understand the responsibilities we carry, the impossible balance. I understand, Harry interrupted, that you chose the crown over your grandson, that Archie's security, his title, his place in this family became negotiable because his mother made some of you uncomfortable. William moved forward. Harry stood from his chair. They faced each other across the table, the diary between them. The Queen rose. Enough. Both men kept talking. Harry, I have documentation of everything. William, of your interpretation of everything. The Queen walked to Harry. She moved faster than anyone had seen her move in years. You will not publish this. Her voice shook, not with age, with something else. Harry opened his mouth. I never said I would. You will not, she repeated, use this family as material for your grievances. You've been leaking material about us to the press for months. The slap came faster than thought. Open hand, his left cheek. The sound echoed in the vaulted room. No one moved. Harry's hand went slowly to his face. The Queen's hand trembled at her side. 14 royals stood frozen. The afternoon sun caught dust particles suspended in air. Somewhere in the castle, a clock chimed 4 times. William exhaled audibly. Charles made a sound like he was choking. Kate put her hand over her mouth. Anne looked at the floor. Harry stared at his grandmother. The red mark was already visible on his cheek. The Queen's eyes were wet, but no tears fell. You will not destroy this family, she whispered. I won't allow it. Harry picked up the diary slowly, closed it, put it back in his jacket pocket. I'm not trying to destroy anything, Granny. I'm trying to survive it. He turned and walked to the door. His hand was on the handle when the Queen spoke again. Harry. He stopped but didn't turn around. It's not that we don't love you. It's that we can't choose you over everything else. Harry's shoulders moved slightly, a shrug, or a shudder. I know, he said quietly. That's exactly the problem. He opened the door and walked out. Behind him, the room remained silent. Outside, Meghan stood from her chair when she saw his face. The red mark, his expression. She didn't ask. She just took his hand. They walked out of Windsor Castle together. That night, in their cottage at Frogmore, Harry told Meghan everything. About the diary, about what was in it, about keeping it from her for 18 months. She sat on their sofa, processing. You documented us, our entire life with them, and didn't tell me. He nodded. She was quiet for a long time. Then, what do you want to do? I think, Harry said slowly, we need to leave. Not just step back. Actually leave. Within 6 months, they would negotiate the terms of stepping down as senior royals. The Sandringham Summit in January 2020. The announcement. The move to Canada, then California. Through all of it, Harry kept the diary. Palace lawyers never requested it directly, but its existence shadowed every negotiation. The unspoken threat. He had documentation. By March 2020, Harry and Meghan attended their final royal engagement, the Commonwealth service at Westminster Abbey. The diary went with them to North America. No one ever asked for it directly. Everyone knew it existed. March 2021, Harry and Meghan sat with Oprah Winfrey in a California garden. The interview aired globally. Harry didn't bring the diary, but every answer he gave matched entries from it. Concerns about how dark Archie's skin might be. Lack of support. Being cut off financially. The palace issued a statement. Recollections may vary, but they couldn't refute specifics, because they knew he'd documented everything. 2 years later, Harry published his memoir, Spare. The diary isn't mentioned directly, but the entire book reads like it was written from detailed notes, because it was. The leather diary stays in California now, in a safe. Meghan asked once if he'd ever publish it directly. No, he said, but I needed to know I wasn't crazy. I needed proof. The diary sits closed, gold initials catching light. 247 pages of truth no one will read, but everyone knows exists. Some secrets protect you by never being told.